Bring the kids. Bring Grandma and Grandpa. Heck, bring everyone and come to the Misquamicut Spring Fest in Westerly May 9th, 10th, and 11th at Misquamicut State Beach. You'll find an array of great food trucks, arts and craft vendors, games, rides, and a Ferris wheel with panoramic views. Great entertainment all weekend long with Jeff Pitchell and Texas Flood, John Batdorf, a tribute to the Cars, and Joyride, 80s Mixtape Live. It's the start of summer at Misquamicut Beach with Springfest. Misquamicut.org.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Community Insights. My name is Ben Barber. I am here, of course, with Paulie G from Westerly, Paul Jancarella Jr., and I am really excited. I am genuinely very excited today because we have on two guests that I have never gotten a chance to really speak to much other than...
I got a flat tire.
I have never gotten a chance to speak to much other than, having my tires worked on. Yeah, exactly. And that is Patty and Carl. Patty and Carl, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Good, thanks. Paul, take it away from Redstone Tire.
Thanks, Ben. And to kind of help the both of you out, and as I mentioned prior to our filming here, Ben had a brainstorm of an idea a few months back that, why don't we start a show in the afternoon called We Don't Know, but, and what it is called now is Community Insights. He's not a big fan of it because I do the CI, like the Village Inn. You know what I mean? So he's kind of whatever. But we love to hear from people of the community. And I think what makes this extra special is not only do the two of you have a business here, but you're all also married to each other and the business and work together in that business. Carl, I'd like to start with you. Where are you from, and how did you get to where you are today with Redstone Tire?
I'm from Westerly, been here all my life. As far as Redstone Tire, I actually started there my senior year of high school in May of '79.
Dick Cafoni was the owner then?
Dick Cafone was the owner, yep.
Okay.
I worked there for a while. Then I actually went to Harris Graphics for a little stint. And I also I was at Redstone part-time.
Okay.
And then in 1986, I went back to Redstone full-time as a manager. And
the rest is history. When did you take over and become the actual owner of Redstone? Had to be in the 90s.
September 2001.
Oh, was it that late? Okay.
Yeah, that's when we bought the business. Yes, that's when Dick retired.
Okay.
That's an easy month and year to remember, unfortunately.
Yeah, 01, right? Jeez. Yeah, no, for sure. Because I think you got out of Harris at a good time because they, moved out of town.
Yeah.
And 3 years later.
Yeah. Actually, a year later, I left in '86, and they pretty much shut down in '87.
What's also interesting to note is Redstone Tire. Did Dick buy it from someone else?
No, his father opened it.
It was his dad?
1932.
Okay. And you never changed the name?
Nope.
Kept it. Kind of like Toscano's Men's Shop when my dad bought it in '83,
The name actually came from the red granite that was from all out in the back.
Oh, is that right?
That's where the Redstone Tire name came from.
Oh my goodness. I did not realize that. And that's interesting to hear. I'm glad you brought that up. Patty, how about yourself? Tell the audience where you're from,
I was born in Halifax Hospital in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Halifax Hospital. I was going to say Canada.
I don't even think it's still there.
Right.
I was like, Canada? No.
So you were
Florida?
born in Daytona.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. My parents my mom is from Mystic, Connecticut.
Okay.
Her family used to own a hotel in Mystic. Her maiden name was Denasi. She moved with her parents to Florida. My dad is from West Virginia. He moved with his parents to Florida. They met at a cafeteria. In 3 months, they dated and got married.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 3 months.
And that's where I was born. My sister and I were born there.
Okay. And how did you get to this area? Because Mystic is a kind of a foundation, so to speak. Did you come
My
back to
parents
the
wanted
roots?
to come back. My mom wanted to come back
Okay.
up this way to be
Where did you go to high school?
Westerly.
Okay, you did.
I was in Pawcatuck till 4th grade, and then 4th grade we moved to Westerly.
Nice. Now, when did you meet the gentleman Carl Lombardo? Would you have to, if you had to guess?
I think I was 16. I had to get my car fixed.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when you guys first met, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because he had already, had you graduated already at that point? When?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think you were 3 years ahead of me in high school.
okay, and how did it materialize to be maybe dating? Was it an arranged marriage?
Well, I did work. Her father was one of the bosses at Harris.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
So,
Right, because you just need your car fixed or
Yeah,
whatever.
pretty much.
But how funny how that ties in.
Yeah.
You know, that is kind of neat. So how did it come to be, you know, where you guys started dating?
Did you feel the spark plug immediately?
The next question. No. Carl would ask me out. I used to bartend at Sputchies and Al's Cafe.
Sputchies and Al's.
Mhm.
Hotel,
I'm
motel.
like going way back.
Yeah.
And Carl used to come in and he would ask me out and I'd be like, yeah.
Get
no.
this guy out of
Yeah, pretty much.
here. Love it.
And then,
Persistence.
persistence.
yeah. Then one day I
It's
was
the-
like, you know what? If you want to marry me, we got to date. We'll see if we actually like each other.
If you want to wait,
exactly what I said.
wait. If you want to marry me, we got to date and see if we like each other.
Hey, he's game.
So hold on. So Carl, you weren't going in with a, hey, what are you doing? Can we, go out the Saturday night and maybe get a drink and a bite to eat and go to a
Oh.
movie?
I tried.
You were like, but then you ramped it up to, okay, listen, do you want to get married?
I think it was when you're ready to be serious. Let
So
me
you
know.
think he's kind of a player? He's typical
I just-
Italian.
I was working all the time. I had a full-time job. I worked at the Paragon
Oh boy. Yeah,
and
Same.
I
sure.
bartended at night.
Yeah. Well, Sputchies, you bartended at Sputchies
Yep.
and Al's.
Yeah.
So that's the CC O'Brien's now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I remember Al's Cafe because I remember you used to say hotel motel, get the heck out of here. And he wouldn't
No, he didn't
he
budge.
wasn't a pushover
No.
by any means. Okay. So you and Carl end up being together. Did you jump into the business right away with Carl? As far as being a face of the business, you might have been in the back in the scenes at home doing paperwork or
No,
something.
I didn't do anything. And he had somebody that was
Okay.
coming over from when Dick had the business,
Okay.
and she was doing the books. And then one day she was like, I'm getting another job. And Carl's like, okay, now you have a job.
So then
I
so
was
there,
like, yay.
yeah, so there's more or
Let's
less
see how
here,
this
here it
works.
is. Yeah.
The chair, take it.
Yeah. Now that's got to be tough.
It's really not.
Okay.
It's really not.
Because it really is if you think about it. You know what I mean? You have your spouse that you see after work, you're seeing them during work and all
Yeah.
sorts of plus the dogs.
And our son Bryce works with us.
Right. Absolutely.
And
And your other son,
Chris worked for
Worked
us.
there
yeah,
also.
you know.
Yeah.
I bring that up only because that was kind of Carl's retirement in a certain respect
Oh,
because he was going to
absolutely.
take over.
Yeah.
You'd teeter around whenever he needed you, type thing, and
Yeah.
then cancer got the best of that. You
Yeah.
know, and I think I still think to this day that Chris got the best of the cancer. I
Oh, yeah.
really do. I really do.
Absolutely.
I think he had the attitude of
Yeah.
hey, so this happens. He passes away 8-9 years ago.
It'll be 6 next month.
6 years ago.
Yep.
Okay. And you started a benefit for him, with his, because he loved Jeeps
Yep.
and he loved
It started, one of his Jeep friends wanted to do something. And like 12 days after he passed,
12. Geez.
he was like, can I do this? And I was like,
Little
go
too-
right ahead. And he wanted to raise money for Dana-Farber. So it was all just a
Okay.
Jeep run, but there was like over 100 Jeeps.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we raised $12,000
Oh my goodness. What
and
a
we
great
donated
testament.
it to Dana. And
Who are great, I assume.
oh, they're
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
It's if you have this
My son was
disease-
Hasbro when he was,
Yeah. Well, Hasbro is right.
it was a
it-
children's
yeah.
Hasbro,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
then we were just kind of thinking I wanted something to do. And I was thinking a lot because right after that I broke my leg.
I remember that.
and I wasn't a good patient.
Yeah, right.
And
Mm.
we wanted something to do, so we started the foundation. First, it was
Yeah.
a scholarship fund,
Okay.
and then I was like, well, if we're gonna really do this, let's throw in and do the whole thing.
Okay.
So we applied to be a 501c3, and we got it. We do 2 fundraisers a year now.
2 a year. Oh, I
Mhm.
didn't know there was 2 a year.
Yeah.
Now, are they on the same basis, or there one
No.
does? Well, tell us about this.
We do the Jeep. It's called the Convoy for Chris.
Okay.
It used to be people just thought you could just have Jeeps. It can be any registered and insured vehicle.
Okay.
We welcome everybody.
It starts.
Starts at the Pee Wee Field.
Okay.
This year it's June 19th. And we
Five-
go through town.
Lineup starts at 5:15 p.m., leaving at 6 p.m. sharp. This is going to be great. So you're starting at the Pee Wee Field, which is
Wesley Pee
on
Wee.
Mhm.
Old Hopkinton Road.
Right.
Right.
And you're going to go all the way down to the beach and back.
Mhm.
That's great. There's
We go
food
through
available.
Watch Hill.
There's food available, music, raffles,
Mhm.
convoy merch, a 50-50 raffle, I would assume.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All vehicles are welcome, but they must be registered and insured. You can contact Patty. It's $20 per vehicle, which is really inexpensive for a great cause. And it's the 6th annual convoy for
Mhm.
Chris.
Yep.
Where
That's-
is the like the stops for refreshments and things? Like, where is it?
Everything's done at the Pee Wee Field, and then we just drive. We leave Old Hopkinton Road. We go around past Redstone.
Yeah.
We go down High Street through here. Through
Okay.
town,
You go through town.
past the
Past the
firehouse because
firehouse.
Chris was a volunteer firefighter.
Oh, okay.
Carl's
Jump
a
on
volunteer
that.
Ladder truck
firefighter.
out front with the flag.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then we
nice.
go down Elm Street, Beach Street, and then I'm running out of words. for
Well, whatever.
streets.
You get to the
Straight down
beach
Through Watch Hill.
and you do the whole strip.
By
And then-
Watch Hill
yep.
Firehouse.
Oh, you come on
around
Integrate,
Watch
whatever.
Hill, then
Yep.
we turn back
Ocean
and
View
go to
Highway.
Squamicut, past the Squamicut Firehouse,
Yep.
around down through the beach, come out Langworthy Road, past Dutch Corners Fire Department,
Okay.
and then we go straight across District 6.
Okay. And you
Come
come in the
back
back
out.
way.
Yeah.
McGowan's
Yep.
Corners.
Yeah.
Then
Right
we
there.
come back
Then we
into
come
the
back in.
field, and then we do our raffles and this food.
Okay.
The guys
That's
at the
great.
fire department cook before and after.
Yeah.
So
All right.
They're
That's
amazing.
hamburgers, hot dogs.
That's really
whatever.
nice.
And the police department's amazing.
This is
They're
June
so
19th.
helpful.
So it's
Yeah.
the 6th annual too. So you guys started this right away.
Yeah. Well, and then in 2020, we were going to do a golf tournament,
Oh, COVID.
and COVID hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was like the perfect marriage of a way to raise funds
Yeah,
for
yeah.
our scholarship fund. And
So June 19th.
Mhm.
So it's nice that we're here, being that it's a month away, give or take. And what's the other event?
a
that
golf
you do?
tournament.
Golf tournament.
And when does that take place? Is that in the summer, I would assume, or September?
27th this year.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, that's a good time. And where is that going to be?
It's going to be at Winnapaug.
Winnapaug.
Nice.
We've been
Beautiful.
between Winnapaug, Elmridge.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Great.
Spreading the love.
Yeah, no, for sure. Which is good. And I love how you hit the fire stations
Yeah.
on the run,
Yeah,
which is
it's a
good.
lot of
'Cause
times like
he's a volunteer in the department
was,
as well
yeah.
as Carl, right?
Yeah.
you know, we have guys. I mean, there's members at Watch Hill. They're out front when we go by,
Oh, really?
and
It's
Squamicut,
so
and,
wonderful.
you know, it's a great time.
Okay. I wanted to jump into business, Redstone Tire, because some people may think that that's all you do is tires, and that may be the case. Tell us a little bit about business and what you folks do and what you specialize in.
Well, like I said, I mean, originally the business opened in 1932,
Mhm.
and if you look at some of the old pictures, the building was, you know, probably a quarter the size or less of what it is now.
Yeah.
They also had a little log cabin that was over on the side of the parking lot that they sold ice cream and stuff.
Log
and
cabin?
Yep.
Ooh.
And
Can we bring the ice cream back? Because I feel like
We got
I'm-
lawn sprinklers. You guys show
she
line
wants
lawn
to do it.
sprinklers
Patty's
and
in.
stuff.
Patty's in.
1,000%.
From what I understand, they also did campers, which
Oh, really?
up to, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years ago, I would always get a phone call. Is this Nimrod campus sales? And I'm saying, that's what,
That's what the
where
name
it came
was.
from. I have no idea. But I mean, like I said, every once in a while I get this phone call and I'm saying, no, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number.
Oh, gosh. Still, huh?
Yeah.
Man, isn't that
But,
funny?
And they also back when they opened, they had an oil business also, oil delivery.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tanks were out back of the building, and they had their own oil trucks, and they did their own recapping there back in the day. Actually, they just got done. They were doing a little bit when I started there in '79, a little bit of recapping,
Okay.
passenger tires.
Okay.
But then they quit that, and it's, I mean,
When you say recapping,
they take used tires, they grind
and they
it
just
down, and they,
kind of do the 18 wheelers, so to
Yeah.
speak.
yep, they used to do that with passenger tires.
Wow.
It just didn't get cost effective. So, I mean, now it's, they
Yeah.
just do it with the medium truck and stuff like that now.
Okay.
But I mean, back when I started there, like I said, in '79, snow tires were a big thing back
Yes.
then.
Every year, every
know,
season, you would
Yep,
change it
we'd
out.
Change them. I mean, like beginning of the season, we'd get in like 200 recap snow tires, and they had, there was a barn down in Potter Hill by the bridge that
Okay.
they had that we would stack tires in. His aunt lived across the street. We used to have them
Right.
down in her
Oh,
basement.
gosh. Right.
mean, it was
Yeah, 'cause
ties,
what do
like,
you
it
do
was
with
just-
them, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, now the
Everywhere.
building's so much bigger that,
Well, it's environmental
God,
now.
you
You know
know.
what I mean?
yeah,
Can't just chuck them.
No.
no.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's, obviously it's been a family business. We bought it in 2001. We bought the business from the Cafoni family,
Right.
who started it in 32. Like I said, Dick's father opened it.
Mhm.
Dick took over in 61, I think, when his
Okay.
father passed away.
Do you still see Dick at all? Does he
Yeah.
pop in every
Oh,
now
yeah.
and then?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And, like I said, he was in a couple weeks ago, and, we're talking. I said, well, you got to hang on, Dick, because the 100th year's coming up pretty soon here.
32, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So-
for sure. All right. So, Carl, when it comes to business, you're still doing the tires
We
aspect.
do
you know
tires
what I mean?
and most auto repairs. I don't get into any of the heavy, like motor swaps, transmission
no, right.
swaps, but
Oil
brakes,
changes
tune-ups,
or whatever.
oil
Yeah, we
changes,
do those.
all that stuff we do.
Yeah, so you-
Suspension and
Wait, really? I didn't know that I could take my car there for an oil change.
Oh yeah.
What?
yeah, there's
I
still a
didn't know
lot of
this.
people in town that say, "Oh, I didn't realize you did that."
Because it says Redstone Tire, and they
Yeah.
Well,
that's
that's why, like a lot of stuff that I do now, I put Redstone Tire and auto repair
Mhm.
to try to let people know. But-
Right, exactly. You don't have to go if you're doing the tires with me. You don't have to go somewhere else to go get that oil change
Right.
or that alignment or something.
Yep.
Well,
The alignment in the tires, I could see would go together, and most people may know that. But like you're saying, I got this tick or this something's happening in the. You're like, oh no, I can fix that, type thing. So that's also nice to know. Patty, you've been thrown into this business.
Yes.
It's not something that you were choosing to do, I'm sure. When did you start? Do you remember? You
I-
bought the biz 01.
Yeah, I
You
think
got-
in 01.
was it
Yeah.
in 01 once? No, it had to be maybe a year.
Maybe
Or
02.
thereabouts then.
Yeah.
So your take of the business, you're front and center. You know what I mean? So sometimes you're dialed in and you got to talk to this customer that comes in, things, what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a challenge there.
Some days he'll call me at night after I've left, and I'm like, "Oh, what did I mess up now?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Nothing. I just was asking you a question or something like that," because I know I can get distracted
Yeah.
easily.
You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah.
And it's tough because, it's not that you're not needed, but you have the background aspect, but the customers and stuff like, oh, hey, Patty, how are
Yeah.
you? You're like, oh, geez, how's it going? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that can be, I would imagine, a challenge in that respect.
It can, but most of the people that come in are so nice.
Yeah. So you look forward to some of that as well.
Some of
too,
them,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that
Yeah.
the personal aspect of things,
Yeah, is
would
really
be
nice.
good, Well, I would think as a former bartender,
Yeah, it's easy.
it's
I
inbred,
don't-
ingrained in you.
People don't upset me very easily.
Well, that's good.
That's
That's
true.
that's very well. It's important to have. Okay, so both of you.
I'm sorry. Can I interrupt for a
Sure,
second?
please do.
Okay. Speaking of getting easily distracted, right? I said I immediately after we had the conversation 2 seconds ago, I just texted our director Dave DeAngelis, and I said, "Hey, make sure from now on all of the guys call it the Redstone Tire and Auto Repair pregame report from now on. Tell the
Oh,
announcers."
Thank you.
And then I said, I had no idea that they did everything and oil changes and stuff. He said, dude, what? You didn't? LOL. Tire and complete auto repair. It's right on the logo. Also, you helped me multiple times drop my car off for work. Doug has always used them. Allie's always used them for oil changes, everything. What is wrong with you? So
Awesome.
This
Just
could
to-
be an intervention for dementia.
Yeah.
Could be for dementia right now.
Well,
We might be
just to-
treating some early dementia.
so just to be clear,
Right.
my
No,
bad.
I know the feeling.
all right.
For sure. So I think what's great is I consider you a Westerly person. You know, what I mean, you went to
I-
Westerly High School.
Yeah.
Same with Carl. When it comes to our area, our community, I'd love to hear from each of you what it means to you, what you like about it most. And I'll put you on the spot first, Carl, if you could share what this area means to you.
Well, I mean, I like the area. I mean, it's everybody's like family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like I said, I've been here all my life. I've been a member of the fire department for over 30 some years. I'm a member of the ambulance corps.
Okay.
Like
So-
I said, I've worked locally forever, and I mean, just the area is great. You know, it's New England. You know, people come in and complain about the weather. I said, well, it's New England. I don't
Right.
like it. You know, just wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Exactly.
You know, but I mean, the area is great. The people around here are great.
You shared with me a nugget here. I don't know if most people understand. Being a business owner in the automotive field is at least a 12-hour job, if not 24-hour job, for crying out loud at times.
Yeah.
But you said the ambulance corps and the fire department you've been involved in, it's not like that's paying you millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Those generally is volunteer. So you're giving back to the community in that respect. So I would say that's a big takeaway of what the community means to you, is that you're giving back to it and helping those.
I mean, I'm not as active as I used to be, but
Sure.
Patty will tell you. You know, the ambulance call would call me at 2:00 in the morning. You know,
Oh,
I need
gosh.
somebody, and okay.
Right.
And at that point in time, we lived on Westminster Street, so I was just like,
Right.
you know, 2
Hop,
minutes
skip, and
away.
a jump.
Or,
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, whoever was there would run by the house, pick me up, and say, "Let's go." And,
you didn't have a choice then.
But,
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I like the ambulance corps. I haven't been active in a while. The fire department, I go, you know, here and there.
Occasionally.
There's fires. I
calls,
go at
yeah.
night, you know, if I'm available. During the day, obviously, it's tough owning your own business, but
Right.
you know,
Which is a remarkable that you're here
yeah.
to record the show in
Yeah.
the middle of the day,
We
which is
done
good.
that?
And he's on time. And he's on time.
Yeah.
Patty, tell me, what does it mean for you to be part of this community? What is something that you
I-
take away?
Love it here. I mean, the whole community, and there's a lot of people that will think I'm crazy. There's a lot of everybody has your back.
Hmm.
And like I was saying about the foundation, when we needed to do last year, you had to like file plans with the state and stuff like that. I didn't know what I was doing.
Hmm.
But Lori Baca
Oh,
at the town
great.
hall
Saw
walked
her
me
today.
through everything. Sean Rathgaber helps with
Yeah.
everything. Sean Lacey was like my biggest supporter from day one.
Yeah.
The police chief, like so helpful, and the fire department.
The other Paulie G.
The other Paulie G.
The other Paulie G. And I'll tell you, the fire department, if I need anything, I know I could pick up the phone and those guys would be there
That's
at the
awesome.
drop of a hat.
I love that you said that. I just think, but again, that just reinforces what basically both of you have insinuated. Carl actually jumped in and was part of the fire department and was former
So
ambulance
was
corps.
Chris. Chris was a member there also.
Yeah.
Chris
yes.
went to like everything.
You know, I think about that with Chris because things were going so well health wise, and they obviously made the turn for the worse. But you don't tend to realize how supportive of a community we have until something
Yeah.
like that tragic
Oh, my
happens.
God.
When he was diagnosed, even you know
Oh.
what I mean.
Everybody
it's
that
just-
came and signed up for Be the Match.
Oh, right, for the bone marrow. Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately nobody matched. I matched.
Hmm.
So I was with him in Boston. And then we just did the stem cell transplant. And
Yep.
and if anybody could or wants to join Be the Match, do it.
Yeah.
It's not
To
painful.
put it, yeah, it's just a blood draw initially. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, they put a little line in.
When they
and-
take it, you're saying?
Yeah. And you just sit in a chair. They bring you snacks.
Oh, okay.
And you're hooked up to a machine, and they take your blood out. They separate the stem
Okay,
cells.
so it's not like a splitting you up, taking a spleen or
No,
something.
and they
Yeah.
warm the blood back up and put it back in.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah. So that's a great point that you bring
It's
up
easy.
to be a bone, not only a donor, but when you go, if they call you,
Yeah.
see, the thing is with me, since I was diagnosed with cancer myself back in 09,
Yeah.
I had to come off that list. You know,
Yeah.
you can never be back on it.
Yeah.
and,
Now I'm too old.
you know,
But if-
although
if-
there's an age restriction
But
as
if
well.
they called me tomorrow, I would do it. I don't care who it is.
Yeah. No, that's great to hear. That
Yeah.
that really is.
it-
know.
It wasn't hard. I mean,
I-
I guess
I thought it would have been more painful, and you're saying no, it wasn't.
the worst part was they gave you a shot to stimulate the stem cells
Yeah.
to grow, and I would get this headache, and being in fluorescent light would bother me. But it was 5 days, and once they took the stem cells,
It was gone.
I was fine.
Wow.
So a little headache for 5 days to
Nice.
save somebody's life.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. No, for sure.
Wow.
You folks now, being in the business, your other son is Bryce,
Mhm.
is in the business.
Yep.
Is there any plans of change, expansion, staying where we are? What's happening with business that you could share? Maybe you don't, maybe not want to. I don't know.
No, I mean, we'd like to retire. I would like to travel more.
Ooh, nice.
We've got a good crew that works for us right now.
They're amazing.
Personnel is so
They're
big.
amazing kids.
It's
Well,
so
they're not
big.
kids, but they're kids.
Right,
It's,
of course.
it's just, I mean, everybody knows it's tough to find help.
Yeah.
It's tough to find good help.
Good help. Yeah.
Never mind just finding help. I mean, sometimes it's just worth having a body there,
Yeah.
to
No,
do
I
something
know,
as
I
opposed to
know.
having nobody. But,
Right.
but
But you got the loyalty,
we
is
have a
what you're
good, we have a
saying.
good crew of guys.
A couple of them. Well, one of them was one of Chris's best friends,
Oh,
and
really?
he's still there.
Was he working there when Chris was there?
Mhm.
Yep.
See,
Yeah,
there's loyalty
John.
right there.
Yeah, and then we have Brian, and Brian brought his friend Kenny, and Brian's mom actually owns a business in town, head to toe.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Brian Fazaro.
Yeah.
So, and then his friend Kenny.
Yeah, head to
came-
toe. That's a salon.
Yeah,
Yep.
And isn't Gina?
Gina
Turner
is his
over as
mom.
well? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I know his sister is it Gianna?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because she comes to the YMCA in
Yep.
the morning, which I can't believe high school kids come. There's a bunch of them.
She's
That come.
amazing
When I was in high
athlete.
school, I wouldn't want to get up there.
Oh,
early in
what,
the
you
morning.
kidding me? I didn't want to get up for class.
You didn't want to go to school.
Let alone
I don't want to get up that early now.
It's crazy. I wasn't getting up at that hour. It's nuts. Oh, that's great, Carl.
Yeah.
All right, so let me put you on the spot here. You're retired. You're ready to roll. Money's not an issue. Where are we traveling to?
Our garage. And we're gonna clean it out.
That would be the first
and
thing.
organize it.
That would be the first thing.
Yeah, and as soon as we found a dog sitter,
Oh, right, you got 3 dogs.
yeah,
You got
Four.
3 dogs.
we have 4.
Is it 4 dogs?
We have 3 Goldens and an
Oh, that's
Oreo.
right. That's right. The other one that
The little-
tells
Other one.
the yes, the
the one
sergeant.
that's in charge.
Oh, but how about some destinations that we can share with the audience that you'd love to travel to?
Ireland, Italy, Greece.
Nice.
I would love to go
Three
out
good ones.
west,
West
see
of
the
United
national
States.
parks, and take pictures.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's a lot.
I
right
have
there. That's
fallen in love with Siesta Key Beach.
good. Siesta Key.
It's the most peaceful, beautiful place in the world
Where's Siesta Key?
in Florida.
Sarasota.
It's Sarasota.
Yeah.
Wow. Better than Clearwater, because Clearwater is not too far from
Clearwater wasn't bad. I went there one day when my grandparents were moving back to,
there. My wife
to Rhode
loves
Island.
Clearwater. Yeah.
Oh.
But those are some great beaches
Mm.
in that
It's,
area.
it's not super wavy, and
Yeah.
it's
Bro,
just
it's the bay.
It's just
too.
beautiful.
Yeah. Which is good. All right. Wow. So we have a lot of things in store. We're hitting Ireland, Italy, Greece. Might do it in one big excursion.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go
I
out
figure if
west.
I'm already there.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Wyoming. We're gonna
you go.
Yosemite.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome. I've never been I've been to California and Arizona, but I haven't been to like Wyoming, been to Utah.
I drove through once. Me and a
Yeah.
friend of mine drove across.
which is
country.
kind of neat. It really is.
It was fun. It was
You
different.
see it.
you know, I mean, this was, gosh, I think 1984.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Took a couple
I was
weeks
sixth
off
grade
and
by
drove
then.
across country.
Yeah, but you know something, Carl. What's nice about that is that those are memories that you won't forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll go through there. My boss said the same thing driving cross country. My former boss, John Conti, he said he went into this beat up diner off the road. It said all you can eat. You know, I think it was $1.25, $1.25. You know,
Oh my
which
goodness.
that is shocking in and of itself. So he's eating his first plate. The other guy next to him, some kind of bum or whatever, he's eating a plate. And the guy moves the plate. He's like, "Oh, I'd like some more." He's like, "No, you can't. That's it." He's like, "It says all you can eat, $1.25." He's like, "Yeah, it does, and that's all you can eat." So Sean's like, so my boy's like, "I guess I'm not gonna order another plate because that's that, you know." So stuff like that, you know. I mean, you don't forget funny things like that, you know, in that regard. So, and I think that's what you're living for in a certain respect, whether or not you travel before you're retired. You know, maybe you do a couple trips.
We
You
did.
guys went on a cruise?
We went to Alaska.
Alaska, that
In
was great. I would
2023.
definitely do that again.
Oh,
Was that June?
That was life
August.
changing.
Was it August? Was it still light at that time?
Yeah, it was like
It was beautiful.
till
10 o'clock?
at night.
Yeah.
What part
Which
of
is-
Alaska?
Well, you cruised.
Uh,
So
we
Cruise
cruised. We
was-
just like
Yeah.
hit like Juneau, and
Okay.
I can't remember. The
Did you guys go to
names.
Skagway?
Is that the one where you take the tram? Yeah.
That's
And then-
Shane Belanger, who used to
oh yeah.
do Westerly Live, lives up in Skagway now
Oh wow.
in Alaska. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I want to go there for the solstice, June 21st. I want to see that sunlight
Yeah.
almost constant.
It was. I mean, it was nice. I mean, everybody
just the
says
nature.
it rains all the time, but I think we had one day of rain.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
I mean, the weather was pretty
Beautiful.
warm. I mean, for the most part, it was 50s, 60s.
Oh, that is perfect. You're
T-shirt,
thinking a lot
jeans.
colder than that, yeah, because August it
No.
starts
I
getting
think the
that.
coolest it
bananas.
got, like a couple of nights, was maybe like high 30s, low 40s.
Okay, that's manageable.
Yeah.
Plus
You're
you're
on
a
the
cruise
ship.
ship.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
it matter? You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to go to the pool.
It was
But did you see?
Amazing.
Because what's tough is instead of taking an excursion inland, being on the cruise, did you see the wildlife? What you did?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
See, that's what I'd love to see.
We saw bears.
Yeah.
We saw a mama bear and 2 baby bears.
Really, you know,
We saw salmon. We were on like a little
like hopping the ladder,
like a ferry, like doing a cruise around this
Oh, okay.
area, and it was like a cannery or hatchery or something,
Yeah.
salmon thing. Sorry, and there were 2 juvenile brown bears chasing after each other. We saw bald eagles, like
like a robin.
yeah. We saw otters. Then we saw the bears. Then we went around and we saw the mama bear and the 2 baby bears. Then we saw, I want to call them walruses, but they were sea lions.
Okay. Oh, that's
then-
neat.
Then there was a whale, and it was just like
Like
going
like a
through.
right whale. Would you know? It was
I-
did it do
I
the
didn't-
splash?
I
thing?
didn't stop and ask it, and it was smaller than I thought it would be.
Yeah, sometimes, well, a lot of them you're seeing off the side of the boat too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're on a boat that's
Okay.
know,
So that was a
you don't
8
know.
trip.
stories high, and
Yeah.
the whale's down over there. I mean,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
looks like it's this big, but it's
Yeah.
Oh no, true.
probably-
That's a
Yeah.
great point. That's a great point. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's tiny. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
down to the level that it's on.
I went on a whale watching trip once in 7th grade. It was on my birthday actually, and the one of the whales came under the boat and then went up the other side, and I went, I want to go home.
Yeah, like I'm done.
I'm like, it was like, oh, cute, a whale. Oh my god, that thing is 6 times the size of this boat.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so afraid of this. So anyway, more of you guys being
Di-
braver than I am.
All right. Wanted to wrap up with this. You know, business for you guys, I think has flourished, not by accident, right? You've put in a lot of work.
Yeah,
You've
for sure.
put in a lot of effort, and you've made it a good place to work right now. I assume you want to see that for your son as well, taking over, so you guys can do the things that you want to do and come and go as you please. What is something that you'd love to leave our audience with as far as business opportunities? Come see us. You know what you can do, because before I turn it over to you folks, you know, I'm in Pfizer in Groton, and I went the wrong way. I backed up, and I turned the wheel and punctured the hole.
Mhm.
The AAA showed up 45 minutes later, drove me directly to Redstone, and you guys didn't skip a beat. And you know, and now don't get me wrong, you pulled strings and you took care of me, but it was like no big deal. You know what I mean? We'll get it done. What can you share with the audience of some things that you know you want to let them know that maybe they don't know? Carl?
Well, like I said, we have obviously tire service. I have probably $80,000 worth of tires in inventory.
Okay.
If I don't have it, I try to get it as quick as I can. Most times in a day, if not two.
Yeah.
And we get customers. Sometimes they're in a hurry. We try to get them in and out as fast as we can.
Right.
Get them on the road. And like I said, I mean, same thing with auto repair. Get them in and out as fast as we can.
Right.
And I mean, I've talked to a few different people. Like there's one younger kid that I know of. He's in New Jersey now.
Okay.
He started his own business, and I told him, I says, you know what? I says, treat the customer right, give him a fair price, explain to him what you're doing, and right now the kid is flourishing.
Right.
Yeah.
But it seems so
He
basic,
does
right,
an
Carl?
HVAC
You know?
business, and the kid, I mean, he's
Oh,
grown
good for him.
so much over the last 5 years.
Good for him.
And like I said, if you're gonna, I just hear so many horror stories.
Yeah.
People coming in to say, "Well, they told me I need this." All right, well, let me look.
Yeah.
Nope, that's fine.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You just got
Right.
you got to
A
be
lot of
honest.
that.
And I get customers and they, that I worked on their cars for years, and you're looking at it, and I says, it's time.
Yeah. Right.
You
Okay. So they'll come from the dealership, say, and say we need X, Y, and Z, and you're like, actually, no, you do need X and Y, but the Z you could, you may not. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. That's and I think that's what you guys have portrayed. You know what I mean. You're gonna get someone that you can put trust into. You know.
That's-
I actually, continuing the conversation from earlier, Dave made fun of me a lot in the text messages, going like, "Hey, idiot! By the way, you've been to Redstone a ton for your old cars," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's right, I did."
Yeah. It's just a
He
little
called me.
blatant lapse.
Well, see, he called me soft because I've had newer cars for the last 10 years, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, cool. I haven't had a lot of auto repairs, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm the king of running over nails, apparently. So I run over more nails than anybody, which is why you guys see me a couple times
Yeah.
a year.
Plugs.
Yep.
Yep.
Going, and you literally, as soon as I walk in, you guys are just like over there. Yeah,
Just
we
go
got you. We
underneath
got
the
you.
awning.
But anyway, that is one thing that now that my memory has been jogged, that I always loved about going to Redstone for auto repairs, because I would say, go get my car or my dad's car. I would take it in for an inspection at, some place that maybe claims to have a golden touch, and all of a sudden have a laundry list of things that were wrong with the car, and then head on over to you guys, get the one thing that's actually wrong fixed, and then it passes inspection immediately, and it's fine, and it's great for years, and it's not $15,000 worth of repairs.
Yeah.
So on a $4,000 car. So the that is being able to go in and talk to you guys in the office and know that it's a family business and you guys really care about the customers and everything is so important. And it's always fun to go in and see the dogs and
Get 'em
all
all
of
out.
that stuff. So yeah,
No.
but
All right.
anyway,
Ben, before you close us out,
Yeah.
Patty,
Yes, sir.
is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience that maybe they should know, or that you want them to know at all?
About Redstone?
About anything?
About
About anything
anything?
at all? You brought notes, for crying
Well,
out
I
loud.
brought notes because I just.
Geez, we're gonna have to have you guys back on
I'm sorry.
because
Yes, come on,
have
anytime you
2
want.
pages of notes.
Well, for the foundation,
Yes.
to this date, we're gonna do more at baccalaureate. For scholarships, we've done 33 $1,000 scholarships.
33.
So
Nice.
$33,000 in scholarships.
That's great.
Wow.
Another 5 years.
Yeah, and that's
Wow.
that's
says a lot.
from the town of Westerly supporting us
Yeah.
and supporting the foundation. And we've also donated about $3,000 to the Pee Wee Field because they
Right.
let us use it without question.
Yeah.
They're
no-
just
no
so.
charge or anything.
But that's where Chris found his love of football.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
his last year of playing, he couldn't play.
But this is what you said. It all ties in.
Yeah,
It all ties in the community.
and we've donated to Dana Farber and like Westerly High School Sports. We've donated to them too.
Sports boosters.
The like girls softball, they were going somewhere. They were traveling
Oh, right.
for something.
Yeah. Well, they
and-
always are. So it's,
Yeah. So I mean, we just, thank
Great.
you for supporting us.
No, I'm glad you guys came. We may be asking you in the future to come on to chat about a little bit more that we hadn't got to today, but I think this was nice.
This was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
What do you do? Is it a hot lamp?
That's right.
You gonna, ask mathematical questions? You know what I
I
mean?
would fail.
That's right. You and I
Plus, you
both.
got the massage chairs.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Got the masseuse behind her. All right.
Um,
Thank you, guys.
I have one question.
yes,
I want
Ben.
June 19th, 6 p.m.
Sharp.
Would you guys mind if we come down and film a little bit of it?
That would be
Absolutely.
amazing.
That would okay. So we're gonna come down and film a little bit of that.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll come into the shop and have you promote it in case anybody wants to join the convoy.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, absolutely.
you.
Also, guys, remember you have an open invite literally to come here for this show or for Breakfast with Ben and Ken and Ben once a month. Whenever you want to do it, whenever you want to stop in and promote, you have an open invite. It's literally part of being an advertiser on 321. So thank you for that. And thank you so much for being our pregame advertiser for the pregame show.
Thank you for getting me through COVID with my niece so I could watch my niece play basketball and volleyball.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We have a comment here from Carla Moreno who
Oh, cousin.
said 3 great people right there. And I just want to clarify.
She's talking about the Lombardos. She's not talking about her cousin.
There's only 2 of them. There's only 2 of them. She said 3 great people right
Yeah,
there.
Only two.
My only thing is that it must be because I'm not on screen,
It's got to
right?
be it.
It's got to
Oh,
be because
yeah,
otherwise
right,
it would
yeah.
be 4.
Or
right?
maybe she was talking 3 great people. You and Lombardos, and then Paulie G. She doesn't feel.
No, see, because I'm not on screen, so I think that
Oh,
that's what she's
I
saying.
love you, Carla. So,
But anyway,
all right.
Thank
So
you.
I think what would be nice is as these events take place for the 5013C,
Mhm.
we can talk about them as
Okay.
well. And you know what I mean? Like he said, you can come on to a particular show or whatever, and we can air that. What's nice is it's not like a newspaper where it's got 1 day life.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's got a shelf life and everything that you look into it. So this is
Yep.
great. All right, Ben, take us away.
all right, guys, thank you so much, and we will be live in a couple hours with Westerly High School lacrosse, Westerly High School boys lacrosse at 5:30 tonight. Yeah,
Sounds good to
5:30. 5:30 against the Pilgrim Patriots. We'll be starting a little bit early with the Redstone Tire and Auto Repair
Hey.
pregame report.
Nice.
And thank you guys so much for
Famous.
watching. We'll see you at the beach this weekend for Springfest, May 9th through the 11th. Friday 5 to 11, Saturday 11 to 11, Sunday 11 to 5. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye for now.
Wonderful.